What's up, CP Nation? Welcome back to another video at Content Performance. Today we're going to discuss something that can really be killing your gains, and that's making sure you have proper form and not doing crazy stuff in the gym. And who else to do it with than my girl Brittany? Got a special guest with us today. How you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling good. Hey guys, whether you're beginning or advanced, it's very important to focus on your form just to be able to prevent injuries and build muscle.
You're not gonna be able to build muscle if your form's all over the place. You're gonna have so many injuries, and for years, that's what slowed me down. So we're gonna actually go live inside the gym and show you guys techniques that we did to really help us build that muscle, prevent injuries. So let's get straight into it.
So when you're doing squats, you remember to keep your chest up and your core engaged. I would also make sure that you're stretching to become a little bit more flexible so you can go deeper in your squats as well.
Something I always notice whenever I see people squatting, they almost try to have their nipples touch their knees because they're bending over instead of actually sinking into their hips. So guys, make sure you're getting into your hips, getting depth versus bending over. Because eventually if you load up too much weight, you literally fall forward. And we're trying to avoid that at all costs. And also guys, you don't want to just drop down into your squat. A lot of people just drop down.
Interesting. European style.
And crash down. You want to make sure it's about tempo. I typically like to go for a 3 to 4 second eccentric or negative. So I like to lower down for 3 to 4 seconds and then explode up. Just like this. When you are doing your squats, you do not want to be leaning forward. That's not a squat. You want to get into your hip and squat down. And another thing is you don't want to just drop down. So many people just drop down. You want a 3 count down. So 1, 2, just like that. Getting good depth. That is how I was able to really build my legs, is when I was able to make sure I was getting good depth in it.
A lot of ladies like to know how to do pull-ups. I would say do a lot of lat workouts. Before I was able to do that, I came over to test to see where I was and I couldn't do any. So once you build your lats, those are the same muscles that you're gonna use to pull yourself up.
Alright guys, listen, the bench press is something that's really easy to mess up. You want to make sure that you keep your elbows in at a 45-degree angle. You do not want your elbows flaring out. I'm actually going to demo it. And make sure your hands are even as well whenever you're bench pressing. So control the weight, nice and slow, press it up. Keeping those elbows in at a 45-degree angle. You do not want your elbows flaring out like this. And you want to make sure you keep the weight in control. You don't want to just drop the weight up and down. You want to control it and then press it up. Alright man, hey listen, TLF Apparel, make sure I hit the link in the description below. You get 50% off if you use my code BACONTEH15 to get 15% off. So make sure I top it with the gear. Listen, another key movement we're going to do is planks. Whenever doing planks, it's really good to hit that core. A lot of people tend to sag their hips when they drop them too low. You don't want to drop your hips too low or they're too high up. So you go up high, too high, and they're too high up. You want to be right in the middle and boom, engaging your core like this. And then if you want to make it even more challenging, you can do a plank to a push-up. So you do a plank, and then you come to a push-up and back down. And then plank to a push-up and then back down. And this is what I do, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And you can even add to make it harder, or you can add weight to it. Do you do planks often or no?
No, I don't do planks often. I really don't even do ab workouts, really, because when you eat well, you can kind of eliminate that. But it is important to have a strong core, just because, like the name, it is the core of your body, so it helps you like progress in your other exercises as well.
So yes, guys, I don't do a ton of core. I like to throw core in as needed, like on my accessory, like on my weekends, I'll throw core in, but typically I don't do a bunch of core. Because yes, it is 80% of your diet, so I really try to make sure I clean up my diet. And as long as you have a foundation of core, you should be fine. So listen, when you're squatting, you make sure that you're focusing on your form. If your form isn't the best, that's okay. You can use things such as a mirror to help you squat, or I always recommend starting with lighter weight. Because you may not know how you're feeling. You could be fatigued, you could be sore. So you really make sure you start with lightweight and work your way up and use the mirror. And even sometimes I record a lot of my sets and I'll go back in just to see like how it's looking to make sure my form is on point. Alright y'all, Brittany ready to get up out of here because she tired. Do you have any last minute tips for people who are beginners? Like anything that you recommend when you first come to the gym?
Yeah, I would just say either if you can't afford a coach, get somebody that's knowledgeable in the gym to kind of help you out. But remember, just keeping it simple is always is going to be the answer. So we're going to eat whole foods, we're going to get 8 hours of sleep, and then we're going to come to the gym. Make sure you're getting your protein.
Yeah, guys, if you need a coach, something that's affordable, man, hit my Patreon. Make sure y'all sign up for my Patreon. I'm gonna get y'all right. I do online coaching, so I provide you with a meal plan where you know what you're doing exactly when you're in the gym. And my advice would be, I have two advice for you guys, two pieces of information. Guys, make sure your formulas are okay, and also don't compare yourself to others. You don't know what someone's taking. You don't know how long someone's been working out. So you just want to focus on your physique and be happy and confident with yourself. So that's my personal advice.
I agree.
Because Brittany and I, we were actually talking about that earlier. She's, in competitive bodybuilding. I'm around a lot of bodybuilders, and I'm a competitive bodybuilder myself at times. But it's important to make sure you focus on yourself and worry about your own progress, and understand that those guys that you see, they're not always like that year round either. So anyone add to that?
Comparison is a thief of joy. I would definitely agree. Just look at how, if you've ever struggled with looking forward, just think of how far you've come, and that may not just be in fitness, but just area aspects of your life. So we take that and we use that as our kind of base of how we move forward. I think that
great information. Make sure you guys hit the link below for TLF Apparel, 15% off. Tap with that. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification button. Brittany, thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
CP Nation, we out.